fast genauso spannend wie das Finale. Der Zeitpunkt.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the home of the MASH. It is the beautiful Munich Olympia Park in Munich, Germany, and we have the Elimination men's skateboard now. This is the new course for this year. My name is Troy Mannering. I'm an old dog in a new seat, and sitting next to me is our expert for today, Stuart Smith. And as I mentioned, this is a bit different looking the course from last year. Talk us through this one a little bit.
It is, yes. So this course has changed pretty dramatically from last year. It looks like we've got more money spent on it and maybe a little bit more creative freedom. It's been designed by Ollie Berger from Switzerland and Schutzi from IOU Ramps, not by IOU Ramps. And the main thing that stands out is that it looks like they've taken some pretty heavy influence from the Marseille Park. You have that spine with those two bowled out sections at the back. And looking at the riders earlier, they were having a lot of fun.
Now here we have the flyover of the course right now, and a bit of a description here. Now this is what you were talking about, that lake spine and those two fingers. It's a bit like the Marseille Bowl.
Exactly, yeah. And there's a couple of riders here. One local guy from Marseille, and you can see that he's actually having an awful lot of fun. He feels very, very comfortable here. And then you have that spine that comes out into that hip area just there. We've got that drop down. That's been played with pretty heavily by the crew. And then you have this jump box, and that's something that's featuring more and more in kind of big contests these days, particularly in Vans Park Series and all that, like the Olympic qualifiers. And that gives a chance for everyone to really boost.
Hi, it's Danny Leon.
Servus, it's Alisa Fessel. We're here at MASH 2023.
And we're gonna do the skate course preview. Check it out. So we are here on this ledge. Still need a little bit of walks to repeat, but I think it's gonna be a crazy spot to skate and so much fun. So check it out.
Here comes the spine. You gotta make sure to make it to the other side.
Now we're gonna try to skate the fan box, and the difficult thing here is to calculate how far you should go and how high too. Let's go, let's try.
And last up, we have a hip. It doesn't look like much, but it makes a huge difference. You can do airs over it, which is pretty cool. And after that, we have like one quarter to another quarter, so we can do transfers, which is also pretty cool. That was the course preview. Enjoy the show.
See you.
Well, that doesn't look like any fun at all, Stu. Let's talk a little bit about the judging criteria. I mean, we see there difficulty, speed, variety, creativity, use of course, and style, but you have to mix that all a little bit together. What are these guys going to have to pull out?
So, just to pull a name out of the hat, saw Jaime in practice earlier. He's someone who was here last year. He's the winner from last year. Absolutely tore the place to pieces. And one thing that's amazing about him and what he can do in this style of park is literally run rings around it. So transfer from one side to the other. He was skating it like a mirror, so doing frontside tricks around the backside part of the course, backside tricks around the front side. And yeah, that's what the judges are going to be looking for, someone that can basically utilize every kind of corner of that course.
All right, here's our start list for Heat 1. We have 2 heats, 5 riders in each heat. What we do have to tell you guys is that only the top 6 riders are going to go on to the big final later on this evening at 6:30 p.m. So make sure you stick around for that, because that's going to be intense later on. What are your thoughts on safety runs? We had the wakeboarders earlier on, and a lot of the guys were going out there and doing what looked to be like a safety run. And I know that might be like a bit of a boring topic, but is that something that these skaters are going to be considering in their first of 3 runs, or somewhere in there to make sure they got a score?
You got like 2 schools of thought, I think, and I'd say like it's pretty split down the middle with this lot. Like some of them are very, very seasoned kind of contest riders, so they'll basically work out their runs. Others just going to wing it, and often the ones that are just winging it are kind of the most fun. I mean, they know what they're doing, but they're basically going to chance it on their final.
So we're going to meet our riders right now. They'll come to the middle of the box. That board is looking almost old school in its shape, sir.
That's nice shape. So this is Jason from the Netherlands. He's a local at the Munich Bowl in Amsterdam. He's a great kid. He was actually skating at the Team Trouble contest in Switzerland earlier this year. A real character, and definitely enjoys a bit of peacocking around. Like, he loves it, getting the audience involved. Funny story, he got in at about 5 o'clock this morning after partying all night, but still managed to make it to breakfast and to the morning kind of the warm-up. But he was saying earlier, when I asked him how he was feeling, he's saying, I just can't work out where I should go, which is an integral part of skating a contest, I'd say.
Well, for a guy who you mentioned that doesn't seem to have a lot of nerves, he's looking a bit nervous out there right now.
But yeah, I don't think, like I was saying, the 2 schools of thought, I don't think he really has a solid plan. So one really good thing about him is that he loves to throw like flip grab tricks into the mix. So you'll see like varial flips and kick flips and heel flips, loads of grabs in his runs. And that was something that actually won him, I think, a best trick at the Team Trouble event in Switzerland earlier this year. Beautiful frontside air. And that's his mate George Paul. I can't remember whether they were on the same team in Team Trouble, but they get on really, really well. Like a lot of these guys, they do the kind of European contest circuit. And yeah, they're all good buddies.
Speaking of George Poole, he is our next rider out. As you see there, second place, Great Britain national.
I think so. He's half French, half English. He lives in Biarritz, and I have a feeling that if he's not now, then he definitely was until very recently on the French Olympic squad.
Really?
Yeah. He's got a few I was going to say he's got a few blunt tricks up his sleeve, and he's like king of the blunts. There you go, back nose blunt. It's like a classic George Paul trick. And I imagine like front blunt, like he's got all the blunts. And if he qualifies for finals, he loves to pull out like flip blunts and all that sort of thing, and getting really technical. yeah, like unlike someone like Jaime, instead of just charging around the course as fast and as high as he can, he kind of likes maybe more of the kind of like technical aspects of skateboarding.
Yeah, he was here skating last year as well, wasn't he?
That's right, yeah.
And we saw a lot of this. So, you know, the judge hasn't seen it. You know, it's technical. How is he going to change up his run a little bit to try and keep up with a guy like Jaime? That's the big question.
Yeah, I mean, it might not be in kind of so much in his repertoire to kind of hit that big back wall, so like for wall rides or for transfers onto that wall, and that is something that the judges like Cheney are going to be looking for. You know, they're going to be looking, okay, well, he can do all this technical stuff, but actually, is he skating the whole course? But then he can do textbook front blunts.
Because course usage is one of the criteria the judges are looking for.
Okay.
Jaime.
So this guy has a personality, to say the least, like proper showboater, but he really does have like the skateboarding to back it up, and he is a lovely, lovely guy as well.
He won the roller coaster back here in 2019 when it started up at the top of the Olympic Hill there.
That's right.
Next to the stadium.
I mean, that was just that kind of course back then was just absolutely mental, like out of this world style course. But like, I mean, he just charges around very fast, all these transfers.
Very dynamic skater, and I mean, you can see the difference between him and George right away. The technicality isn't quite there like at George, but the power and the amplitude is definitely on point.
The power, and he just like. He kind of lives like he skates as well. He's just charging around with this big smile on his face the whole time. Wow. That backside over the box is just crazy. He was doing that in practice. Wow.
And we have to also remember these guys are on a ramp on the water here at the lake, so we have to be a little bit wary of those skates flying out into the water.
Yeah, and I think last year a few people did lose their boards in the drink a bit. They were putting up a few extra barriers around, and Schutze was kind of putting bits of wood over the gaps and stuff.
Yeah, and I saw they have a few fence lines also set up with the banners on it. Make sure nothing goes extra wide. And there you see the fish netting down there on the edge right there between the water line and the dock edge. Nice score, 70.66. So right away puts Jaime Mato in the top spot. Oh, big acid drop.
There you go.
Hello.
There's some showboating right there. I mean, last year when he won, do you remember he spent 45 minutes to an hour like at the front with all the crowds signing everything and giving them embassy stickers, which is the company that he rides for. And like, yeah, he's a great showman. Okay, Lenny.
Our model, Lenny Jansen.
And his skateboarding is as pretty as his face.
Ouch.
No, I mean that in a good way.
I know. So one thing I notice about the way that he rides is similar to Jaime. However, different is it's very smooth and flowy. Jaime seems aggressive and powerful, but he's still got the flow. But Lenny just has that. It almost seems easy. And in a sense, making the judges look at him and go, he's not doing much out there.
Yeah, and I imagine that probably makes their work a little bit harder. Oh, wow, hanging on to that. That was amazing, Lenny. Wow, man. Near perfect run. Yes, Lenny.
I think after last year and us talking about how pretty he was, he's gone out and got himself an agent.
Yeah.
Has begun himself a modeling career as well.
I say, if you look at his Instagram, the first thing in his bio is his like the email address for the person who represents him at Pave Model Management. Which is that's what you got to do if you want to make it in skateboarding these days. You've got to be up with the fashionistas and the models.
So let's see if he can keep up with Jaime here. Oh, just behind 66.66.
maybe that's just because he didn't show quite as much flair as Jaime, who knows. Now this guy is Jan.
Pantaleo.
And Jan was at Team Trouble, took me completely by surprise because I'd never heard of him before, never seen him skateboarding before, and he blew everybody's minds. He is very spontaneous, very, very powerful.
I do dig his style, though.
Yeah. So I was saying earlier about the inspiration taken from the Marseille course with those bowled out areas at the back and the spine with the hip. He is from Marseille, won the Marseille contest recently, and you can see he's just all over that area, and I'm sure he feels very happy that that's the way the course looks this time. He also skates vert really, really good, really powerful.
Something you don't see a lot of these days, unfortunately, is vert riding. It's sort of kind of fallen by the wayside.
It has, but those that do it are like known and very well respected. And if you can transfer some of those skills to like a contest like this, it really works in your favor. Yeah, big fan of Jan.
So taking a look back there at Jan Pantaleo.
I always think it takes a special person to pull off a flat cap, and he can certainly do it.
Called peak caps in Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
If you say something's peak in London, it means it's a bit crap. So
really?
There you go.
A bit like the pants?
A bit like the pants, yeah.
Third place for the 63-33. So we're starting to seed our top 5 here in this first group. 2 more runs for these guys. So we'll take a look at the overall standings so far after 1 run, but let's not forget they've got 2 more runs to go. And at the end, we'll get into group number 2. Group number 2 will come out, and then again, it's going to be the top 6 guys from all 10 athletes. It's not about taking 3 from each group.
And interesting enough, like Jan didn't land his last trick just then, but I'd say, in my opinion, he skated as well as Lenny, the guy that went before him, but he just lost out on a few points, and I imagine that as far as the judges go, because he didn't land that last trick and complete like the full run in the time he had, that's where he lost out on points.
So didn't get an indication that they're going to start things over again, but no, it's just a couple of test lines here.
You can see Ollie Bergen on the deck there, the guy with the white t-shirt with the headset on. He's one of the designers of the ramp, one of the organisers of the skateboard contest.
An OG skater from back in the day.
And an amazing skater still, like years and years skating for Etnies, an Element back in the day, and like an amazing street skater, ramp skater, skates vert too. In his 40s, still killing it.
I would love to say I'm still in my 40s, but unfortunately that doesn't happen anymore.
Jason's waking up.
Yep.
Oh! Ah, that was like
That's interesting.
Do you remember soap shoes?
I remember soap shoes. I actually had a pair.
Jason's recently on the flow team.
There's a new version of those available now.
A Miller flip. That's always a crowd pleaser. Not the most liked trick in skateboarding, but it always looks really, really fancy. And I think he was going to do a varial heel to fakie just then, which is a trick that he loves to pull out the bag. Oh, he wants that varial heel, and anyway it's going to work. He's having fun with it.
Like you said, starting to wake up a bit.
Next time, I'm sure it'll all come together for him in his last run. Perfect backside invert there.
Remind me, it's not a combined score, though, it's best run counts. Or?
That's a very good question.
Oh, a couple of pros in the box right now.
There's that Miller flip, amazing.
Oh, there you go, improving on run 1, but there wasn't a whole lot to improve on, so.
So, wir sind bereit, zweiter Lauf für unseren Herrn aus Großbritannien, der mittlerweile in Osegor lebt. Hier ist er wieder für euch, München. Das ist er nicht, der steht da oben.
Come on in, George Paul. Let's do it for France and England.
Backside disaster.
Jetzt geht's ab. Da ist er wieder. Perfekt auf, da haben wir ganz kurz gemacht, wo wir reingehen sollen. Aber dann werden wir reingepoppt.
Oh,
Yeah,
hello.
Back boneless out of 5 O's. That's not a trick that you see every day.
Now, you mentioned these guys will have a lot of these lines already pre-thought out. Is this a situation where it's the same for George, or did he look at that last run from each of the guys and go, okay, I need to switch things up a bit here, and now he's just going into being a bit creative?
Yeah, and I think maybe it's actually really tough when you're blunt 1 foot to fakie is a lovely trick. Yeah, when you're out there, like 1 minute is a long time, and I think when you get that first one over and done with, then suddenly like, okay, I'm in the mix. I can get those first few tricks done. As long as I land there, I can hit that spot and I can hit this spot. I think it like the third run is usually when it comes together.
Schauen wir auf die Videowall. Hier wieder die Highlights. Der Fiver dann immer den Fuß runter,
Really cool, that is.
rein. Als ersten Mix. Dann die diversen Glanzlight-Kombinationen, Frontside-Glanz.
Gave the cameraman something to have in the Photoshop there.
But he's actually still skating the course kind of backwards and forwards, you know, across the jump box or across the spine, and not really using it, like not really using those bold corners. And I imagine that the judges won't look as favourably on that.
Well, we saw Jean Pantaleo really, you know, he treated it more like it was a bowl than anything else.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I guess the question remains, are the judges looking for those skaters that are going to treat it like a bowl, or are they looking for, you know, guys that are going to, you know, just do and put their own stamp on it more, one or the other? Bit of a dumb question, I know, but...
I guess if you skate it back and forth, but you do absolutely mind-blowing stuff, and you, yes, fast plant in from Jaime, and you don't use the whole course, but what you do is absolutely mind-blowing, then I guess it still counts.
Jesus, the beast is loose.
Yeah. Alley-oops are amazing that he does. And he was doing them back-to-back earlier. So he'd do the body jar, then he'd go back the other way. Oh, yes, Jaime. His ability to just hang on.
He filled that run.
Yeah, he did.
There was nary a mistake from my perspective as non-expert. That run was full to the brim.
Well, there was a couple of times when I thought, oh, he's going to whip out, but then, yeah, in some magical way that he just manages to kind of hold it on, still maintain that power and carry through to the next trick.
Yeah, no leaky coffee cup here, though. Jeez.
Like this hit, just perfect. And as I say, like in his practice, he was doing those back-to-back. So I imagine that we'll see that maybe in the next run, or maybe he's saving it for finals.
I can't imagine this is not going to be a good score. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Run 284 points.
He's happy looking.
Yeah, he's happy about that.
Okay, Lenny. Let's have it then. Give us your best pout.
Some guys can wear the caterpillar, some guys can't. He seems to be able to.
Yeah. Oh, lucky Lenny. Something threw him off then. Not quite sure what. Oh, man.
It's probably Jaime skating along the bottom of the outside of the course. Tactics.
Oh, so Lenny's trying some flip business to fakie. Like on the, you can't quite see it from our perspective, but on the other side of that jump box there's a flat bank, so it almost is like almost like a hip, kick flip back D. And so he's going out of that jump box, kick flip to fakie onto the flat bank at the back there. Oh, you can see it just there.
Yeah.
Wow, textbook variable, amazing.
I thought this one was going to leave him when he did that in full speed.
Wrestled it in.
Judges doing the do up there. You see they've got their repeat screens as well as their timing iPads. Run 2, not so...
and that's purely, I guess, because he fell off. Just still making time to sign a few things.
You don't see a man often wearing a pearl necklace.
You don't, but he is, and doing it very well.
All right, Jean Pantaleo sitting in 3rd place with 63.33. You mentioned that you had never heard of this guy before, and he just came out of the blue and blasted everyone, and now starting from on high to drop in.
He's on the fence, proper mosh dropping, that is good for him. Body jar, I love that trick. Now he's in Marseille. Yeah, and I think the only thing that hurt his score last time was the fact that he just fell off just a little bit over halfway through. If you can hold on.
There you go, yes!
Mate, there's Marseille coming out right there.
And this was a full run for him, so I think we're going to see an improvement in his score as that clock runs out just at the end of his run. So now the judges, when they see him going in for that last trick on that quarter pipe, are they going to let that run through even though the time is out, or do they have to cut off the scoring at that point?
I think that divides the room as far as judging goes. But in my mind, if someone like still going and the timer goes off and they just get a trick in at the last minute, I would say give it to them. They're in there they're in their flow. Maybe it's really, really strict these days as far as judging goes. You know, there's now like judging, what's it called? Like you go and have like a course to do judging, especially if you're involved in like the Olympics or whatever. So maybe they're really strict on it now. But that trick that he was going to do was a shove it nose slide, I think, and it was one of those tricks that he did at Team Trouble that was like blowing minds.
There you go, jumps up to 2nd place with a 72-point score in run number 2. So we go back to our Heat 1 list top, and Jason Linzat from the Netherlands.
It's time for Jason to pull it together now.
We'll take a look at our overall scores here, but at the moment it's looking pretty solid for Jaime Mato with 70.66 on top. Lenny Janssen in 2nd with a 66.66. I've got to recheck this here. That can't be right. Let's see. Leaderboard. There we go. Jaime Mato, Jean Pantaleo, and Lenny Janssen.
So yeah, and that seems totally fair to me. Like the 3 people that have been skating the best is Jaime, Lenny, and John. Just need Jason to pull himself together because he is really good. There you go. Beautiful front side there.
Yeah, he's sitting in 5th place right now. He hasn't touched any other part of the course so far. And now, here we go. Now he's getting into it. So this is important for him at this point.
Wake. Oh, Jason, mate. First place on the dance floor last night, though.
Last place in the taxi stand.
Yes.
The problem with a run like 45 seconds is if you lose the board like that, or like you did earlier, you got to chase it down. It kills so much of your time.
It has a huge impact on it,
It's one of the reasons why I think most of the skateboarders like the jam format. You just get in and do your thing, open.
Yeah, absolutely. And it has a huge impact on your nerves as well, because you're in your flow and then something goes wrong, you slip out, and then it's almost like this mental reset. Whereas, you know, like when you just suddenly slip out like Jason did just then, completely throws you. That was a really nicely extended invert.
So we should see a small improvement in his score, but he's still sitting in 5th place. So there you go. Run 3, 41.66, but not boding well for him.
No.
So we'll get George Poole out there shortly as he wants a second chance to get this going again. And George Poole will have his run number 3 up next. It's interesting, though. You really called it. You mentioned third run is when the guys will start to open up a bit. They'll start to flow around the course a bit more. We saw Jason just do let's see if George Poole pulls in and does the same thing.
So I wouldn't be surprised if George Poole now he's got his kind of like this kind of back and forth run kind of sorted. He's got his blunt sorted. It's now time for him to kind of pull out tricks like blunt flips, which will score him real high points as long as he lands them. That back nose blunt does so well. 5-0 back bonus in.
So we saw this in second run.
Oh, as if he managed to pull it off. I swear his foot was completely off his board at one point then.
Yeah, he was holding it on by the pinky toe. Do people still say pinky toe?
I think so.
Oh, terrible, Stuart. Terrible.
That's just after time, so he's got to have scored well for that. Pinky toe, I think so. I'm pretty proud of that. Thanks. There, look, we get to see. Look, his foot was so far off then, just with his.
That he saved that is incredible.
With faith alone, I think that was amazing.
I think he so too. Oh.
I think he's got to score extra points for bringing that blunt in.
There we go. Not as good as number one. No, excuse me, number two, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. That hair of his looks like a wig. It almost looks fake. It's strange.
It's a Thatcher wig.
Is he bald underneath there and doesn't want to admit it to anybody?
So Jaime drops in with the shirt over his face. Basically, I mean, if that isn't a cocksure way of behaving, because you know that you're the highest scoring so far.
He's like the unknown comic from the 70s wearing a paper bag on stage.
My goodness. Do you think when no one was looking, he cut two little eye holes? Or is he genuinely blind? Oh my goodness.
I think it's stretched over that hair and there's enough room to see through the stretch. It's no problem.
Wow, Jaime, you mentalist.
Oh,
and that's in the drink.
Is it in the drink? Oh no. Oh, he got it caught.
Got it, wow.
We have a savior. Jaime was feeling good about that first run, so for this, I think it's just going to go out and have fun.
He's outrageous,
he better hope
man.
that 4 guys don't get a 96 or higher in the next heat, though.
Yeah, or that someone comes on and does their perfect run in a gimp mask or something.
What do they call the wrestling mask from Mexico?
Is it Lucha Libre? Is that what it is? The Lucha Libre mask? I'm not too sure.
Nacho Libre? No, that was a movie.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Okay, taking the conversation off to a tangent here.
As if he's doing inverts with a t-shirt over his head. I mean, he's all about like the promo. It's so good. And as I said, like last year when he won, he just went down and handed stickers out to all the kids, signed everybody's like t-shirts and their programs and everything.
The only thing I would have liked to have seen is the judges putting their shirts over their heads and judging that.
Yeah. Maniac.
All right, so Jaime. Next up, Lenny Janssen.
I can't stop looking at the pearl necklace now, Troy.
Sorry about that.
I'm intrigued. No, I love it. I'm all for it. Wow, he's got so much flair. Oh, lucky Lenny, mate.
That was user-friendly.
That was, wasn't it? Yeah, and a kickflip transfer. Such a shame that he fell off, because I imagine that will impact pretty badly. Oh, I'm just slipping off that nose grind. Oh, but he's happy, man. Pop shove tail grab and the kickflip were amazing. Just such a shame that he fell. Perfectly boned that. I wonder what his score's going to be like. Yeah, I think that he's going to be marked down just for that slip out, which is a real shame.
Interesting, yeah, a little bit. First run was his best run. Let's see. So Lenny Janssen still sitting in third place with that 66.66.
Now we have Mr. Marseille.
Jean Pantaleo currently in
Huge
second.
transfer.
Massive.
And coming out of that wall, he is going so fast. Backsmith on that big quarter. And is that the first time we've seen anyone hit that box, right?
Yeah,
that Danny Leon was taking.
Except for the soap shoe grind.
Soap shoe grind by Jason, yeah. And during... There's that transfer. Oh, without even a wobble that time. Whoa! Man, so shove it board slide. Just in front of the buzzer there as well, which I guess the judges will mark him down on. Do you reckon it's do you reckon they're just instinctively going up onto the jump box to wait for their scores, or is that something that they've been told to do?
They were told to do that at the beginning, but they didn't have to do that after the first scores. They just they needed to do that for audience recognition on the first scores, but after that they don't have to.
Okay.
They're doing it anyway.
Yeah,
so
they're sort of settling
nice.
into it nicely. Yeah.
So no major changes in the top three here. Jaime still up top there with Jean Pantaleo in second place and Lenny Janssen sitting in third place. Now again, we're not taking the top three from this heat and putting them in the next one. So it's going to be about the scores from heat number 2, which is coming up. So we take a look at the results there. Jaime, Jean, and Lenny 1, 2, 3, George Poole and Jason Linzet. Bit of a troublesome time for those two guys in this heat, but there's another 5 riders coming up in heat number 2.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting with this next heat coming in. You've got some very, very strong riders. You've got Cedric from Switzerland, amazing skater, all-round, skates big ramp. You've got Jordan Thackeray. You've got Alex Holford. Yeah, people that are very, very used to contests and very, very used to skating transition.
After all the talk you gave me about this Jason Linzat dude, I wanted to see him do a lot better. I was hoping for him there.
I think for the fact that...
You were too, I think.
Yeah,
rooting for him.
The fact that he wasn't out all night, I think he would have done a lot better. But, you know. There's that alley-oop transfer from Jaime. Amazing.
That never ceases to amaze me right there. The kick flip and then...
There's a lot of moving parts in that trick.
Nearly losing the board. I mean, I would be on my head. Speaking of on his head...
So that box at the back, that's going to be part of the best trick contest, am I right? I think that features that sound box.
Well, there you see it. That was Group 1 or Heat number 1, Heat number 2 coming up. And you can see the beautiful weather, a little bit of a breeze. We've had some very hot days here in Munich, and now we've got a bit of a breeze. The people are out there. Jaime signing autographs once again. Nicely done there. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend with the MASH alone. Tons of activity. We've got skateboard right now. We've got BMX a little bit later on, and then the skateboard final later on this evening. But aside from that, we have a few events that are coming up in the Olympic Park here. On the 15th of July, Beginning at 4:30 in the afternoon, we have the Sommernachtstraum, so Summer Night's Eve or Dream. It's an open-air music festival with Gentlemen, July, Noga Eras, Fraser, High Top DJs, as well as lots of other stuff going on, including a massive fireworks show. And then later in the year, we have the Tag des Handballs, the Day of Handball. That's coming up on Sunday, the 5th of November, and goes on more or less all day. The German national team men will be going up against Egypt. The national team women will be going up against Hungary, and the national team women under 15 will be going up against Turkey. So lots of stuff happening there. Coming back to the MASH here, we also have our MASH Fest, which is lots of stuff for everybody that comes into the park. It's entrance free, so like you see here, kids and families are invited to come and join in on the activities. There's stuff to do on skateboards, on bikes, on balance boards. There's a little mini gladiators range there. That there's a ton of stuff happening here at the Olympic Park as we get set for our heat number 2. And that's going to have, Cedric Osterhoff, Danny Leon, Tyle Edmeyer, Alex Halford, and Jordan Thackeray. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, exactly. Nailed it.
I always question myself with some of the English names because, you know, they can really mess me up.
No, you did good. You did good. So Sedi, his nickname is the Kid Oost. He is a regular at the Team Trouble events. Team Trouble is a contest held up in the mountains in Switzerland in Lux. It takes place basically like on a mini ramp, a rather luxurious mini ramp. One of the best ramp contests in Europe of the year, I think. And he always enters and he always kills it. Yes, Eddie. And one thing that this year they had a big vert thing there, and he blew everyone's minds by showing us all how well he can skate vert these days. Right, he went to the Tunnel of Love. Right on 5-0. I wonder if he's been marked up for going through that tunnel like that. That's the first time that I've seen anyone do that. Back nose pick.
So smooth.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen Cedric skate before. So this is the first time for me, but impressive with just his flow. Really, really flowy,
yeah. He's a really interesting character as well. He's building his own house with his brother out in the countryside in Le Mans. That's where he resides in Switzerland. Yeah, that was a solid run.
Again, the situation is, like you said, I guess the first runs are going to be like sort of just feeling each other out, feeling the course out. It's a bit of a strange way of saying things, but you know what I mean.
I think as far as like making it a good contest as well, you do a really safe, solid run. The audience kind of get behind you and think, yeah, that guy's great, he didn't fall off. And the next time you add a little something, and you get that right, and then in the finals you go all out. And if it works out for you, and you try something really mad, you don't fall off, then the audience are suddenly really behind you. You know, like it's all part of the build-up.
All right, Danny Leon up next.
Okay.
A man who is very well known in the world of skateboard.
And under that cap, ladies and gentlemen, there is a mass of hair. Incredible skateboarder, insane street skater too. Mind-blowing. Not scared of a handrail or a set of stairs. Can do all the tricks. But yeah, on ramp, incredible too.
What's your wheel choice for a course like this?
I mean, my wheel choice is always 54 to 56 mil conicals. Fast and flowing he goes. Yeah.
Would you say Group 2 Tail of the Tape is a little bit stronger than Group 1, or is that an argument for another day?
I don't know, but like, no, I think they're probably kind of level pegging really, as far as like ability and then kind of flair go. You know, you got someone like Danny who's just absolutely incredible. Oh, I'm lucky that finger flip lean, that would have been brilliant. Just falling off that last second.
Just playing there because he knew it was done.
Yeah, someone like Jaime in the first run, he's like all the flair and all the personality, but then you've got someone like Alex Halford in the second who's of a similar kind of thing. You're going to see some good skateboarding and some antics out of him. No, I think it's pretty well matched in both heats.
That's a political answer right there. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, well.
Don't want to throw you under the bus, but yeah, here you go.
Again. Yeah, I was told just to be diplomatic the entire time.
So what was our high score in Group 1 from Jaime? 84 points?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how these scores come together here as the judges start tabulating up there. Tabulating, there's a word I haven't used.
Tabulating, that's a word you haven't made up in years.
Oh, interesting. 67.66, I'm guessing by virtue of falling down.
Yeah.
That's why he got marked down.
But then still, that's like a high score. Consider like Lenny, who fell, who was in the 40s and the 50s. He fell and was in the upper 60s.
Tyler Edmeyer coming from Berlin, Germany. Tokyo was the first time we had skateboarding in the Olympics, and he qualified, right?
That's right, yeah. And then he was actually in this year's vert attack as well, and did really, really good. Great vert skater. Skates for Trap Skateboards, a German company, so I imagine he's got the audience behind him.
Big lad as well.
Yeah, and
he's a rangy dude.
It's really good to see, like when tall, lanky skaters like that do big frontside airs and they push their back leg out, like kind of like Tony Hawk would do. It just looks amazing.
And he's got pace as well. Yeah. He is quick. I mean, 30 seconds in, and he's touched that entire course.
Yeah, yeah.
It's amazing.
Pleased with himself.
That was a good run. That was a really solid run. He touched the whole course. He's all over the place. He had some nice technical stuff in there. He had some amplitude. He had a little bit of everything. I mean, I imagine, not being a judge, but I imagine we're going to see him high 70s perhaps.
Yeah, yeah. But like I was saying earlier, it's amazing how much of a different approach he has than, say, someone like Jaime, who could score similar points but for totally different reasons.
Yeah, it's a bit of that crazy Spaniard effect with Jaime, eh?
Yeah.
Seems like with Tyler, we've got a little bit more of that controlled demolition going on.
Yeah. Man, they're keeping him waiting, aren't they?
70.33.
Okay.
I expected more, quite honestly, but then I'm no judge, thankfully.
Very respectable score, though, and got to remember it's the first one.
I'd basically be scoring guys on, holy moly, that was exciting, 85 points. All right, Alex Halford coming up next.
So Alex from the UK, he lives in a van. He's currently building a house on a trailer. Absolute eccentric, brilliant human being. No stranger to like the European comp circuit. But he was making his living from basically just travelling in his van from contest to contest just before COVID, and doing really good. He's been skating a lot of vert lately. One thing about Alex is that he's kind of known for really making ridiculous moves on his board and somehow managing to kind of stay on. Like he's a magician.
And he links them together so effortlessly, it seems. Or am I just talking out loud?
No, absolutely right. Back nose blunt transfer over the spine is no joke.
Damn, he had more in the bag too, and that time ran out on him. That was very nice.
Yes, Alex. I'll take it, he says. I'll take it.
Yeah, why do you paint the walls that color? Because taupe is a relaxing color, and he obviously felt like the splash should stay in the socks and the rest is all good.
Yeah. I noticed that earlier, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not see that earlier. That was a sexy run.
Yeah. It's hot out there.
A little bit of a refill.
Oh, he's tired, man. I'm not surprised.
73 points, second place in Group 2 here. Alex Halford. That's a nice run.
Yeah, I thought he'd score higher than that, but then I thought that Tyler would score higher than that too. So
we're both in agreement there. All right, last rider, Jordan Thackeray from Bristol.
So Jordan, I think, was invited last year. Couldn't do it because he was getting over surgery. He had some pretty extensive surgery.
I think we talked about this as well, if I recall.
He had some marble-sized pieces of calcified bone removed from his hip. He's fully recovered now, and he's on a massive tear. Has a video part coming up pretty soon with Fans Europe. And yeah. Unlucky Jordan. You can hear Alex having a go at him for missing his tricks in the background there.
Alex Schwann, our commentator.
No, Alex Halford, the one.
That's Alex Halford.
He's like, "What are you doing, Jordan? Get on with it!" Yeah, feeble round the corner. Oh man, body Imperial Smith and then 5-0 shove. But he did fall, so I guess he'll be marked down on that. But next run.
Aber er hat auch noch 2 Leute. Und wir beginnen diesen zweiten Heat von vorne. Schauen wir nochmal kurz auf die Wertung. Nicht ganz optimal gelaufen für Jordan.
That feeble around the corner was lovely. And then that body of Ariel Smith.
That feeble around the corner almost looked like he wasn't going to stay with the board. 47.66 by virtue of the fall, a little bit lower score. We're going to have a look at the scores here. Keep a close eye on this because I do believe we're going to get an overall with the top 10 guys, or with all 10 guys, so we'll see who the top 6 are. So this is the results from the heats. No, excuse me, this is the result overall. So at the moment, those are the guys that we would see moving into the final later on this evening. Alex Halford, Tyler Ettmeyer, and Danny Leon from the heat number 2 in the mix there. Jordan Thackeray, Cedric Osterhoff. Still got a bit of work to catch up and get into the top group there.
But it's good to see like this second heat has already kind of thrown a cat amongst the pigeons as far as those first scores went down.
It's a cat among the pigeons. It's a loving line for the Brits, hey?
Yeah,
I have another commentator I work with quite frequently, and he's like, cat among the pigeons is his favorite tag.
No one really knows what it means either.
I think I understand it, but it's still funny.
More of Jaime's adoring fans. As I said, he's in. The lean tail, smacking that tail down. That transfer is so smooth. Nose pick.
For a moment there, I thought he was wearing sandals.
Yeah.
I love the sound of the trucks on coping.
Yeah.
And I believe they used to mic up the coping at some of the bigger events on the half.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a nice thing. So not Cedi's best run.
Run number 2 is done and dusted for him. He's got one more run to kind of tie it all together.
Ollie out of the rock is a great trick. He's wearing the Team Trouble t-shirt from a couple of years ago. One run to go, Sedi. It's all good. You can pull out the magic then. Okay, next up, Danny Leon.
If I recall correctly, Danny Leon tends to get better as the stress ramps up. So
yeah.
I'm expecting to see a bit of a better run from him in run number 2 here.
Yeah, and he played it pretty safe last time, so imagine he's got all kinds of crazy flip tricks, and I imagine we'll start to see him put some of those in.
Oh no!
Shouldn't have opened my mouth.
Stay on it, stay on it. Yeah, I've been jinxing everybody all day long, so I'm just not going to do that anymore.
There it is, that finger flip lean over to that hip there. 5-0 transfer, just hanging on by manhandling down the tranny there. Yeah, flip stale fish. That is no joke, that trick. And another stale fish.
I wonder if they'll give him benefit of the doubt on that last trick.
Yeah, I hope so, because then he added 3 other flip tricks into the mix and really seemed to ramp it up, no pun intended. This is where he manual down the ramp.
Again, a situation where I'd be eating chiclets.
Perfect stale fish there. And hanging on to it too. Yeah, you'd hope that they give him the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think it really works like that. Oh, we like him, so let's score him up.
Everybody's friends here. You get a car, you get a car, and you get a car. Oh, there we go. A little bit of a bump up.
Yeah, so you can fall off and still do better than your score when you just stayed on.
Tyler Edmeyer.
Okay. It must be such a buzz, like the whole audience behind you.
I wouldn't know. Oh, fantastic.
Big old frontside air.
I'm guessing Tyler probably won't fit in the tunnel of love.
Yeah. You get a haircut on the way through. Backside 360.
Beautiful.
Front blunt. Can he keep it going in the last 4 seconds? He can with an invert. And that's it. Yes, Tyler. Smashed it.
That was a nice run.
Yeah, really nice. Really nice to see him did a backsmith and powered through that hip to get enough speed to hit the jump box. That was really cool.
Hier sehr, sehr viele erst diesen Backside über die Kante hin. Dann Fuß über die Spine drüber. Und ganz viel, ja, das war auf meiner Augenhöhe. Also,
Tyler Edmeyer, just looking at the score here. First run score was a 70.33, I believe. Let's see if I can pull that up. Needs an 84.34 for first place overall. Let's see. 74.66, so an improvement there for sure.
Not by much. I thought that he would go higher than that.
Yeah, puts him in second place in this group.
Some congratulations from Halford.
And right now, Jaime Matteau still on top of everything from the first group. Tyler Edmeyer is in second place in the overall.
Wow, okay. Well, we got Mr. Halford coming up now.
And Alex actually has third place in the overall standings at the moment with his 73.
Big old transfer. Crossbone over the jump box. Front blunt, he missed it on the front blunt. Oh, he'll be annoyed about that. 360 over that box. It'd be interesting to see if now he just chooses to work on a couple of bits that you saw him kind of toy with earlier. They did a switch blunt and a blunt flip, and I wondered if he'll well, I tried them last time, and I wondered at the very end, I wondered if he was going to do it, but sadly we don't get the chance to see that. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
The Sheriff of Nottingham in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Mayday grind.
Mayday because it's only one wheel holding on for dear life.
Yeah, I think it's terrifying. Now coming up we have our last rider for the second run, which is Jordan, right?
Yeah, Jordan Thackeray. Just waiting on the score from Alex here.
Street plant.
52.66, so holding on to third place for the moment. That rank, by the way, is overall.
Okay, so third place overall. So
yeah.
Unless something dramatic changes, he should be going through to the final.
Pretty safe, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you know, who knows who's going to explode in run number 3, right?
Mr. Thackeray, we just need him to stay on, because he did some amazing tricks last time, but had a couple of falls.
I mean, theoretically speaking, if all 5 guys in this next group, in the second group, just absolutely have an explosive set of runs, and the judges decide that everybody has 84s, that changes the whole outside.
The whole thing.
Yeah. And there you can see. So, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Jordan was saying to me earlier, he's like, bruv, I can't get to grips with the course. And he's demonstrating that pretty well right now. It's almost like he thought I didn't believe him, so he's proving it now. Oh.
But again, falling with style.
Yeah.
So this is going to be what we would call a throwaway run for him.
Yeah. Maybe he's just working it out. You only need one good run, right?
Yeah. So I can't imagine we're going to see an 84 in that one.
No. Oh, good for him. He's going up onto the jump box, awaiting the scores.
Oi.
17.66.
30-point drop.
He'll be a little bit annoyed about that, I imagine. But he knows he can do it.
All right, let's take a look at the leaderboard and the overall standings. Remember, we're taking the top 6 athletes, and at the moment, Jaime in control of everything in the top spot with 84 points. Then we have Tyler Ettmeyer, who is in this group, skating really well. Alex Halford as well. John Pantaleo from the first group, and Danny Leon from this group as well, skating, and Lenny Janssen on the bubble.
Yeah.
In 6 at the moment. Will be in if nothing changes.
Yeah. And those scores look totally fair, if you ask me, just from the way that people have skated. But like you said, it could all change now. Still.
Ollie still has the hair.
Yeah, man.
And you can see the graphic that's up there with Lenny Janssen. As I mentioned, 66.66 on the bubble. So that's the score that somebody needs to beat to kick him down.
Wow, Huge transfer from Sedi. Flying. Oh no, lucky Sedi. Out onto the deck and then ollie back in. That's a good little trick, that is. Yeah, it's not his run.
He just lost the bucket on this one, hey?
Just gentle little scorpion onto the bottom there.
Gentle little scorpion.
Started off so well. I mean, that's massive, that transfer into there.
Plenty of amplitude.
Yeah.
It was nice here as well. I love the ollie back in.
Yeah, very cheeky. Jaime and Sergio. So I would say this is Danny Leon's chance for him to push forward. If he can do what he's been doing but add those flip tricks like everybody knows he can do so well, there's no chance why he shouldn't be like right up top.
He's in a bit of a risky position though right now in 5th overall, so he needs to kind of pad his score, I guess is the way of putting it in. And
also stay safe, right?
Yeah.
Loads of alley-oop transfers. Oh man, a transfer to back lip on the spine. Risky.
No risk, no fun.
Yeah. Well, just avoiding the bottom of that ramp there. Lean tail. Kick.
Whoa!
Oh, and a kickflip tail. That was fantastic, and then like ended up right where he wants to be.
That was a run right there.
So that is basically what I said he should do for his 3rd run,
nice
and he did it. I mean, not that I was calling it, but like if he was going to do what the judges, what he wanted the judges to score him well on, then that was exactly it. Basically, all the tricks with the flips.
But this is what we said earlier on. You know, he's that guy that has the ability to and does often perform better under pressure.
Oh, that transfer back lip was amazing. And he actually did use the whole course.
Yeah, the only thing he didn't go through is the tunnel of love.
Yeah.
That's a good. I mean, you know, can we see a high 70s, perhaps into the 80s for this run? He didn't have the same kind of aggressive nature as Jaime did, but technically speaking, it was pretty solid. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
There you go, 81. That puts him in 2nd place, so he is safe. We'll be seeing Danny Leon a little bit later on this evening, along with Jaime. Tyler Edmeyer has one more opportunity to go out on course and get himself a little bit of a padding as well. Currently sitting in 3rd, though, so not really in a risky position.
He does look a bit like the hero from a movie, doesn't he?
Yeah, Captain America.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Tyler's about to go ballistic, isn't he? You can see it. He's like 81, you say? Well, watch me stall this invert. That's always a good trick. We're just like smacking the tail on the way in. It's just, gave it a little bit too much flair, I think. Unlucky Tyler. That was a shame, man. But he's safe, right?
He's in 3rd place at the moment, yeah?
Okay,
I'll double check that, though.
Unless something dramatic happens.
No, excuse me. He's in 2nd place at the moment.
Okay.
But wait a minute. The 3rd score hasn't been... This has not updated. I have to update this. Just a second here. So now
I imagine that he's been knocked off by Danny Leon.
in third place. That was massive. Holy moly. So Jaime, then Danny, then Tyler, top 3. So, I mean, worst case scenario is if Alex and Jordan both have ballistic runs, Tyler will be moved down to 5th place.
Right. Oh, so he's sitting pretty.
In more ways than one.
Okay, so I think it's not out of the realms of possibility for Alex to do a bit of a Danny Leon now. Like, he has all the nuts and bolts of a perfect run. He just needs to not fall off and add a little bit of sparkle.
Yeah, well, look at that first run score, 73 points. I mean, he's definitely got it where it counts. But I opened my mouth again. Oh, my God. Just stop. Just stop, Troy. Luckily, it happened at the beginning of the run, so he can kind of pull it in again. So
Crail, fakie. Yeah. Unlucky, Alex.
It's quite honestly not so devastating for him because he's in 4th place overall. So he'll still be in the mix as well.
But he knows he's through. It's all good. Well, we're already looking at a very exciting final, and the knockouts aren't even over yet.
One more guy to go, Jordan Thackeray.
And again, he kind of needs a little bit of Danny Leon magic. I want to see him do another street plant. Oh, Schutze giving you a little clap there.
Schutze, the builder of this ramp.
Yeah.
IOU ramps. Good man, been around the sport forever and ever. Hello.
Jordan,
I didn't say anything this time.
No,
not my fault.
Me neither. But bless him, he did say, bruv, I'm struggling. 1 foot over the box.
Just, I mean, when he does get those, though, they're so buttery smooth.
Yeah.
Hello.
I forget what that trick's called. It's pretty weird. Hang the front truck up and then you hang your leg off it. There's another variation.
Creative. All right, so
maybe it wasn't his tune. Maybe he needed
maybe
some Green Day or something.
All right, 36 points for run 3 for Jordan Thackeray, and that does it for our elimination round. We have our 6 athletes locked and loaded. My list has just disappeared, but we'll give it to you on screen shortly here. So there you see it. Jaime Matteau, Danny Leon, Tyler Entmeyer, Alex Halford. So Tyler and Alex as well from the second group. And Danny, so basically we've taken 3 from each group. If we look at it from the down and dirty,
3
we
from
have
each group.
our list for our final later on.
3 from each group, and 3 basically 2 groups of different styles of skaters. You've got 3 like heavy barging skateboarders, and then 3 very technical smooth skaters. It's going to be a very interesting final, I think.
Speaking of heavy barging, there's Jaime Matteau. Whoa, hello, surprise. Lustig, funny, hilarious, and jolly. These guys all having a good time out there. We do have our list of 6 athletes. That final will be happening this evening at 6:30 p.m. Please do join us for that, because it is going to be the bomb diggity. In the meantime, BMX qualification happening at 3:30 this afternoon, and we hope you enjoyed. For Stuart Smith, I'm Troy Mannering, logging out, signing off, and saying adieu, goodbye, and bye-bye from the Munich MASH here and our skate elimination. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, see ya and thanks.